Are the Fever actually planning to trade Caitlin Clark? That's the question lighting up timelines, podcasts, and group chats. And it started with a vibe more than a headline. A local piece hinted at a dark side around Clark's fan base. The kind of language that makes front office skeptics perk up, and internet detectives start connecting dots. Suddenly, whispers grew legs.
The Indiana Fever today versus the Seattle Storm, but I got a big concern with Caitlin Clark, man. So looks like the Fever been figuring things out, man. So let's just say Clark comes back toward the end of the season. Fever do their thing in the playoff. Let's just say, for the sake of my argument, the Fever win the championship.
The circus is too big, the spotlight too bright, the pressure too heavy. But lost in all the noise was the most important point. There's zero credible reporting that Indiana is even exploring a trade. Still, the rumor didn't need facts. It needed friction, and this league has plenty of that. Here's where the story gets serious. Caitlin Clark isn't just a great rookie guard, she's an economy. Since draft night, attendance spiked, merch exploded, and road arenas started sounding like playoff nights in June. Resale markets went haywire. A single injury update and ticket prices fell off a cliff for certain games. Proof that demand doesn't just rise with Clark, it depends on her. That's not ordinary star power, that's gravitational pull. Trading her isn't a basketball question, it's a business non-starter. Every department, ticketing, sponsorship, TV, has a stake in her next shot. You don't toss the core revenue driver over vibes. Not if you like full buildings and bigger budgets. But this isn't just dollars and dashboards, it's human. In locker rooms around the league, veterans have admitted they circled Clark's games. Not because they hate her, because they're competitors. She came in hot with logo range, swagger, and attention that felt like a takeover. That makes her a target on the court and a storyline off it. Some players roll their eyes at the coverage. Some lean into the villain role when she's in their building. Either way, the result is the same: tension. And tension sells. Clark didn't invent the spotlight. She brought it to places that hadn't seen it in years. That can bruise egos and fuel rivalries, but it also makes every game feel important. Then came the injury cloud, the rehab updates, and the dreaded words, no timetable. Reports claimed a possible date. Broadcasters floated windows. Fans clung to any hint of a return.
So another day, another just weird situation, with Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever and people around the organization. We obviously have seen the Scott Agnes article here, where he basically said that Caitlin Clark, that Caitlin Clark brings a dark side to the Fever, and her fans are like a negative on the team, and it's a struggle dealing with her fans.
On cue, the market reacted in real time. Prices dipped. Threads exploded. That's not normal. That's a superstar economy turning on a notification. The sheer volatility around a single player should tell you everything about her leverage. She's not just uplifting the Fever. She's moving the entire league's weather. So when critics frame her fan base as a problem, too loud, too new, not here for the team, they miss the point. This isn't a normal fan base. It's a movement. People plan trips to see her. They upgraded streaming packages just to catch a Tuesday road game. They don't ask who's the opponent. They ask, what time is Caitlin? That doesn't diminish the Fever brand, it transforms it. Before Clark, Indy was grinding in the shadows. After Clark, their appointment TV. You don't shame a rocket ship for taking you to space because you expected a bus ride. You learn to steer. Let's run the trade logic test anyway.
If Caitlin Clark were not in the WNBA, we would not be talking about the WNBA. She is the only ticket draw in the WNBA. A large percentage of all tickets sold in the WNBA are so people can watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. No one cares about Angel Reese. She'd be drawing flies if she were playing not against Caitlin Clark on the court right now. Angel Reese has basically become the Bill Laimbeer to Caitlin Clark's Larry Bird.
What package replaces her impact? Picks? Prospects? A starter or two? That's conventional thinking, and conventional thinking collapses here. Because Clark is two assets in one: top-tier hoop engine and cultural accelerant. The value isn't just per and plus minus, it's turnstiles, timelines, and trend lines. Move her, and the receiving team becomes America's team overnight. Doesn't matter if it's a contending market or a quiet one, she flips the lights on. Meanwhile, Indy would be selling a gritty rebuild to a fan base that didn't sign up for grit. They signed up for 22 pulling from logos and breaking algorithms. This isn't addition by subtraction, it's subtraction by delusion. There's also the ring weight debate simmering in the background. If Clark returns late and the Fever surge, does a title count the same? Here's the thing. banners don't come with footnotes. Every championship has context: injuries, schedule quirks, hot streaks, matchups you dodged or conquered. Fans might nitpick, rivals will definitely nitpick. But time washes the noise away and leaves the hardware. If anything, a late return fuels storylines for next year. Revenge tours, rematches, receipts. Rivalries need talking points. This would provide a season's worth. Underneath all the noise is a simple reality. Indiana didn't just draft a player, they entered the era of permanent relevance. Sponsors see it, networks see it, opponents feel it. The Fever's job now isn't to manage the circus, it's to build the tent bigger, protect her health, sharpen the roster around her, let the rookie stings become veteran habits. Lean into the villain energy on the road and the hero's welcome at home. The league runs better when its biggest stars in games that matter, and Indy can make a lot of games matter. The fan discourse, of course, isn't always clean. Some corners push it into culture wars, dragging comparisons that don't help anyone. That's not on Clark, and it's not a reason to consider a move. Rivalries should live on the floor. The rest is static. When she plays, the product booms. When she's out, you can feel the air thin out across the schedule. That's not fair to other great players, there are plenty, but fairness isn't the metric franchises use to make decisions.
Like, there are some people that are not here for basketball, not here for the Fever, but are only here for Caitlin Clark. It's like, if you're a fan of a player and you're here for the basketball and you're there watching games and everything, you're a fan of the player playing basketball. I don't see there's an issue with that. And according to his thing, to him, he was saying, he was talking about how it was such a struggle for the team, and obviously someone who has access to the team. And he mentioned, the fans coming on.
Sustainability is. And the sustainable decision is obvious. Keep the engine, improve the chassis, and floor it. There's also a truth that makes executives sweat. The Caitlin effect flattens excuses. If you're in Indiana's front office, you don't get to say, we'll grow slowly, when every metric is screaming, go now. You have to support stars like Aaliyah Boston, stabilize the guard rotation, and insulate Clark with spacing and veterans who can calm storms. Because storms will come. She draws contact, she draws coverage, she draws heat. That's the price of being the main character. You pay it off by surrounding her with teammates who turn gravity into open looks and open looks into separation. The rumor mill will keep churning. Fans believe some execs are uneasy about the circus, and some players surely are tired of the endless discourse. That's normal in a league figuring out how to scale. But there's no rational world where Indiana benefits from moving her. Not competitively, not financially, not culturally. Even if you somehow won the basketball trade on paper, you'd lose the city, the airtime, and the momentum. And the team that gets her, they'd cash those checks and send a thank you card. So no, the Fever aren't trading the sun. They're orbiting it, learning how to live with the heat, and discovering that the heat is the point. The whispers made for a dramatic couple of days, but the math wins. Stars this bright don't get moved. They get built around. Protect the quad, pace the minutes, keep the cameras rolling.
A badass and a trash talker, and gives it as good as she gets it. And she is an object of scorn for good reason. She's awesome, she's swaggery, she does turn your home crowd into a road crowd. She is a frustrating player to guard, all of it. And if she is, for some of these teams, a bit of a villain, that's sweet. It only will make her better. She is already one of the 3 or 4 best players in the sport, as a lot of us thought she would be in short.
And let the villains boo on schedule, because every dynasty starts as a storyline that sounds too loud to be real, right up until it is. And here's the twist nobody's admitting out loud. Pressure cuts both ways. Clark's presence forces Indiana to grow up fast. Front office, coaching, roster, all of it. The margin for error shrinks when every possession can end up on a national highlight reel. That's not a burden, that's a blueprint. Great organizations don't complain about the spotlight. They operationalize it. They turn the noise into standards, the attention into accountability, and the scrutiny into sharper basketball. If you're in that Fever locker room, this is the best classroom you'll ever get. Every night is a measuring stick. Every practice matters. Every role has to be defined, bought into, and executed. That's how contenders are built, under lights, not in the dark. And while the rumor mill keeps spinning, there's a quiet reality setting in around the league. The Clark era isn't a phase. It's infrastructure. Networks are programming around her. Opponents are scouting weeks ahead. Sponsors are budgeting multi-year bets. That's not a storm you wait out. That's a climate you adapt to. Indiana's smartest move is patience with urgency. Protect her long-term health, invest in continuity, and let the chemistry calcify. Do that, and the Fever won't just survive the circus. They'll headline it, sell it out, and write the kind of chapters that turn whispers into history. There's also a reality check for everyone outside Indiana who thinks this is all smoke and mirrors. Rivalries need a lightning rod. Clark didn't ask to be that, but she wears it well. Road crowds boo, defenders press up to half court, veterans try to rough her off her spots. And somehow it all makes the fourth quarter feel heavier, louder, richer. That's the paradox of resentment in sports. It becomes fuel. The more they try to humble her, the more compelling the next shot becomes. And in a league competing for national attention, compelling is currency. You can't buy that. You have to live it. Look at how quickly the narrative machine resets when she's on the floor. One logo three, one no-look dime, one cold-blooded pull-up in crunch time, and suddenly the discourse flips from overhyped to unstoppable. That volatility is the product. That's why a Tuesday in July can trend like a Game 7. It's why kids drag parents to arenas, why retired hoop heads tune back in, why casuals become diehards overnight. The story writes itself. Can she do it again, and who's brave enough to stop her? Indiana's job is to turn that
after Caitlin Clark injury. The get-in price for the Chicago Sky versus Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever game was $86. After Caitlin Clark's injury announcement is now down to $25. And you Angel Reese fangirls will still believe and think that Angel Reese is the reason why people are watching the WNBA. Since y'all want to make it about race, this white girl over here is the
question into a habit. Keep the ball in her hands, yes, but keep the system humming when it's not. Get her easy catches, force switches, punish traps with short roll playmaking. Build the team so that when she bends defenses, someone else breaks them. That's how star gravity becomes sustained winning. That's how the Fever go from show to standard. So keep the rumors for the comment sections. The real plot is simpler and stronger. Health, spacing, reps, and a front office that treats this window like the gift it is. Because windows don't stay open forever. But when you've got a player who turns a league night into a nationwide event, you don't look for the exit. You double down, lock in, and let the cameras do what they do best, follow greatness.